got this time.
Go.
Good afternoon. I'm Doris Hall James,
And I'm Gilbert Lomax Jr.
and we're here today. We're here today to welcome you to the first International R&B Music Day celebration.
Yes, it's a great celebration, a
Yes, it
great day,
is.
and Doris Hall
Yes,
James with Simply Music went out and invited a lot of local artists to give their opinions and express their opinions
yes.
on this day and how they feel about it. Because there were so many of them that she brought in, I didn't want to make it all. Well, excuse me, we didn't want to make it one long video for you,
Yes.
so we broke it up into episodes. That way, you can pick and choose which one that you want to see.
And we want to thank you for your support. You've supported us, and we really needed that support, and we thank you for that. Now, what we would like for you to do is now sit back and enjoy. This is R&B Day. Sit back and just enjoy, because the best is up next.
Yes, it is.
Hello, Dennis. Hi, Dennis.
Hello, Doris. How are you?
I'm doing just great. How are you? It's good to see you early this morning.
Oh, yeah. Yes, it is.
Well, I'm so glad because we want to do this interview. We're so excited about everything that's going on with R&B Day. So we really want to do this interview. And ladies and gentlemen, and Facebook and social media, I want to introduce you to Dennis Harris, and he was a member of the famous MFSB Orchestra, and he's a songwriter, he's a producer, he's an arranger, he's a composer. Dennis has done a little bit of everything, and he's here this morning to tell us about all the things that he has done traveling through his musical journey. Go ahead, Dennis, it's your dime.
It's my dime. Okay. No, it's good to be here to talk about this. R&B is, I think, such an integral part of what's happened in the music experience. You can't get to a lot of music that is going on today without going through R&B. And a lot of that was centered in Philadelphia. It was good to be part of that. It was good to actually work with some of the acts that we worked with to actually further that effort. I mean, you've got I don't need to tell you, but you've got some pretty big names there. Gosh, just to go through them, we're talking about Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes, Patti LaBelle, Lou Ross, the Jacksons, on and on. And it was good to do that. It was fun to do it. We had some really good times and produced some very good music.
Yes, yes. And all during that time, how did you feel about working with all those stars, and you were one of the ones behind the music, like you were putting all that music to, and how did you feel with that?
Um, tell you the truth, I felt pretty good about it. A lot of times you're just concerned about making something that was good, because I knew I was going to hear it on the radio and I didn't want to be
Yeah,
embarrassed.
yeah. It was hard
So,
work, wasn't it? Dennis, it was hard work, wasn't it?
yes, it was.
But
Yes.
it's fun, right?
Oh, very much so. Very much so. Yes.
Because we hear all the time about like the Patti LaBelle and the OJs and all that, but we don't hear about the people that played behind them to make them what they really were. And for that, we wanted to bring out the history of how R&B, really was put down. And you went into the studio and the band went in first and recorded the tracks. Is that how it happened?
Yes. It's almost like a layering.
Right.
Songwriters come up with the concept of what they want the song to be. Kenny Gamble, and a lot of the writers that were in the stable down there. We're talking about Gene McFadden and Whitehead. So we'd go in the studio and do the rhythm track, and on top of that was laid usually I think it was the horns and the
Mhm,
string.
mhm.
Um, and that would give us the basis for the song. I mean, they'd come up with, of course, the lyrics, but we'd put it together almost, that way. Like I said, it was a layering effect.
Okay. And then after all the instrumental and the track was created, then you bring in the vocals.
That's correct. That's correct. That
And
it would usually happen that way. I think what happened is that the vocals would come in not before the strings, but it would come in somewhere around after we did our part, after the horns went in, and the vocals would come in, and I think the strings came in after that.
okay. And one of the last interview we did was with Jimmy Williams, and he was a bass player for the OJs for many years.
Yes.
Could you talk about the tune that he did that it went gold, I know. Talk about that tune. You know which one? I want you to mention it.
What you're talking McFadden and Whitehead, ain't no
Yeah.
stopping us now?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was something that we he and I worked on. Actually, this was a song that when you go into the recording studio and you go to put an effort forward, usually musicians try to find a way to warm up to, you know, make certain everything, all the parts are working, so to speak.
Okay.
McFadden and Whitehead, they came in and took advantage of that fact. And the result was Ain't No Stopping Us Now.
Okay. Okay. So you were practicing at that point, just
Yeah.
rehearsing something to get ready for the session.
Pardon me? Say again?
You were practicing or rehearsing something to get ready for the session?
Yeah, we were warming up. We were thinking of, okay, this is what we're going to do. We hadn't seen chart or anything like that. We were actually just warming up. And Ain't No Stopping Us Now came out of that effort.
Okay. Okay. Well, that was a great song. Thank you for that song. And all during the summer when we were out, when we could go out last summer, 2021, that song was just played and played and played. Different people were singing it. It's it's a motivational song. It's something that we will always remember. And like when we are writing songs together here at my home, and we'll say, "Oh God, this is hard work." And somebody said, "Well, ain't no stopping us now. We almost finished this song. We ain't no stop." So I want to thank you for that contribution.
Yes.
Now, how do you feel? Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it was fun doing it. We had no idea it was going to be such a hit, but yeah, it was fun to do it.
Okay. So what do you think about the National R&B Day for us, March 5th?
Well, I think it's well deserved. I really do. I think that, again, you know, a lot of what is happening today in the music scene wouldn't have been possible without the R&B that came before it. It's sort of like a march forward. A lot of the music that you hear today, I think, has its roots in R&B. And I'd like to think that, you know, we contributed something to that effort. I really do.
And you did. You contributed a whole lot to that effort back in the day. And now I said back in the day, but you're still doing a lot of stuff. Let's hear some of the stuff you're doing now.
I can't play anything for you right now, but
I don't mean that. I mean, just talk it. Okay.
Yeah. No, I'm doing some producing. We're producing an act from Atlantic City. I'm doing that with a guy who wrote some songs for, I don't know whether or not you remember an old group named the Volcanoes.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
We at the Uptown Theater.
Yeah. Yeah. Uptown, my own stomping grounds. That was.
Yeah.
We are working on that. We're producing them a couple, well, it's about 3 or 4 songs that we're doing for them. I'm doing my own effort to actually, you know, get out of the shadows to do something to take advantage of my talents and do it as a single artist, and continue to work with other people to come along that have ideas.
Yeah, that's great. So we keep the music flowing. And that,
Yes.
that brings me to my next question is, how are we keeping the music flowing? How are we keeping R&B alive? How are
Well,
you keeping it alive?
how I can only speak to how I'm doing it. I think that probably one of the reasons why R&B has moved into the back, or moving back from its head place that where it was before, is because we just haven't been that prolific. Well, the pandemic didn't help over the past couple of years, but I think we just haven't been that productive. We as music producers, makers, just haven't done that much to put out our sounds or things that we were thinking about, or music that we are capable of doing. And I think that anything that highlights the us being able to do it, like the R&B Day, is really great.
But Dennis, what else can we do now? You've been in music for a long, long time, and you see the downsizing, the downplaying, the trouble we're having getting our music out there. I know it's more of a, what could I say, an independent kind of thing now. We don't have companies that I don't know, distribution. We don't have those things, marketing and promotion. How better can we promote our product once we, as they say, they drop a CD or they put out a CD? How can we promote our product?
Well, I really can't answer that. It's one of those things that we don't have the numbers of record labels, big record labels, as we had during the 70s and 80s. I mean, I think there's only 3 now of any substance in the world. So that cuts. But I think as long as people continue to put forth an effort to actually produce music and actually, go out there and at least take advantage of the opportunity that is there, I don't think R&B will die.
Okay.
And I think what I'm trying to do.
Okay. Well, I want to thank you this morning for meeting with me and discussing R&B, because it's very important. And I want to thank you for all your music that you have contributed to the music industry, and your continuation, you continue to flow through your music journey. Just let us know what you're doing. Keep us abreast of all your accomplishments and people you write, everything, so that we as Simply Music and the DHJ Indie Show and Philly Live Radio can help promote what you do, because we really appreciate that.
Okay. I will keep you informed.
Okay. And thanks again. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, Mr. Terry Price, how are you?
I'm good, and you?
Everything's okay? Are you ready for a great interview, right?
I'm ready.
Well, Terry, it's so good to see you. It really is. I've known you for a long, long time, and I am so glad that we stayed connected all these many years. Mm-hmm. And we both have a passion for music. This is Mr. Terry Price Grant, right?
Right.
Terry Price Grant. And I worked with, we worked together at WMOT Records, and Terry was very instrumental in my career, because he's such a good songwriter that he made me I wanted to outshine him. I said, I can write just as good as Terry. And he was always inspirational. And he was a member of my husband's band, Fat Larry's band, and he played keyboards. And when you hear those old songs by Fat Larry, you'll hear Terry Price Grant on there. So Terry, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
And today we're going to celebrate R&B Music Day, and that's March 5th. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is our first day we ever had. This is the very, very first one, I should say. So how do you feel about that?
Well, it's about time. It's good that whoever came up with this, kudos to you. Kudos to you, whoever came up with the idea. R&B music is a genre of music that's oftentimes overlooked, and especially with the rap music coming into being, it's been overlooked. But at the same time, it's been used a lot, especially in rap. I mean,
Yes.
without R&B music, half the rappers wouldn't even be out here because they used the tracks from R&B to create rap.
Yeah.
And once rap got out there, everybody forgot about R&B.
Yeah.
So so it's a good thing.
Yeah, I think that, like I keep saying that, I guess I really didn't know that we didn't have a day, because every day to me was R&B day. So I didn't know we really didn't have. I would listen to my music, and I would do a little dancing, and then I would sit back and think about the song, what I was doing at that time when that song came out, and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started looking up the different days, and I found out that it wasn't a day for R&B, So I'm grateful to Cliff Perkins and his team, his team for, going out and politicking and getting this day for us. I'm really happy, and I thank them for that. And they're going to have some kind of celebration. I wish I knew all of it on March 5th. But when I find out, I'll put it on social media. So if people want to attend, they can attend that.
Okay.
Now, Terry, tell us a little bit about what you've done and who you work with and what you're doing now.
Well, I started out in the music business. A lot of people know me from Philadelphia International Records. I started there in 1975, but I was in the music business way before that. I actually started trying out for a singing group in my school. I went to Bach Tech.
Okay.
And some friends of mine wanted to start a singing group, but at that time, I was one of the guys, and I just didn't know that, but I couldn't sing. So they kicked me out. So that group was the Futures.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And they went on to make a couple really nice songs. And a lot of them have passed on now. But I think the two brothers are still here with us, James and John. And the funny part about that is, not to make it's just a long story, but this especially for people who are out there that want to become a songwriter or a producer or whatever, and they're having a hard time. So I would take the fact that I was kicked out a hard time. But I went on to start my own singing groups, and once in a while we would come together. The Futures in my group would come together, Novaks, and almost like fight. And we're not physically fight, but the Novaks against the Futures. Which one is the best? And then as the years went on, I went to Philly International and became a songwriter there, and got with a couple guys, City Brown and Nudie, and I had my own office directly across from Gamble's. That was where my office was, right across from the studio. When you open the studio doors, that was my office right there. And the funny thing is, if I had given up, this what I'm getting ready to tell you would never happen. Yeah. And so Gamble comes in and he says he got this group that he wants me to do some songs for the album, first album. So who walks in? The Future. So of course,
you got him.
Got you.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's funny how things go around. But so I was at Philly International for about 5 years. I stayed there until about 1980, while there, I worked with Gene Carn, the Futures, the Stylistics. I worked with a lot of different people at that time. I made some friendships with musicians and stuff like that. But in 1980, I left there and went on to WMOT, which was Alan Rubens and Steve Bernstein. And that's where I met you at.
Yeah.
And
Don't start talking about me now.
and that's well. The funny part, I don't know if you remember this, Doris, but did you remember you guys were doing the show with the Stylistics at
Having music. Yes.
And Brandy Wells. Well, it wasn't. She wasn't Brandy Wells at that time.
Peaches.
But Peaches, Marguerite Pender, showed up late. And I jumped on her. He was like, who is this? And of course, we fell in love, and the rest is history.
Yeah, but that was a good time, though.
She was shocked, and probably nobody had ever did that to her before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't play about that. And you late too, and we were at the Academy of Music.
Academy of Music. I was just telling.
Yeah. We weren't at no, but they used to call them things at the club. It wasn't the minor show.
I was just telling a friend of mine just now that we were talking about Slick, and they asked me to have pictures. I said, well, I have some things. I had some things when we were at the Academy of Music. They said Academy of Music. And I said, yeah, we were there. We opened up for the Stylistics.
Right.
It's funny that you started mentioning it, because she just walked out the door and we were talking about that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And Brandy was late.
Yeah. So while at WMOT, I came there as a songwriter and a producer, and started working with you guys, and not so much as writing for you guys, because you guys had your own writers and stuff. But I think at that time I was getting together you guys' show.
Yeah, that's what you were doing, telling me I was out of step all the time.
Right. And went on to work with Fat Larry's band and Booker Newberry.
Oh my God! I've been trying to reach him. I can't reach him.
Yeah, he's unbelievable, and all those guys, and so I think I was there quite a while until they moved over to Tech Records and formed. It was still WMOT at that time, but that's when all that trouble started, and that when Brandy and we lived upstairs, so I went downstairs and I wrote a song, and I called Brandy down there. I said, I wanted her to do the little demo on it. And at the time, it was just a cassette tape player and a piano. And that song was Closer Than Close. And
I remember that. I remember you guys practicing that song.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It was around the same time I was practicing Zoom, which I never got credit for. But anyway, it was around the same time. They gave me a cassette player, a cassette tape of that song without a hook, or vice versa. I forgot which one it was, but that being said, so be it. But Closer Than Close, and I went on from there. Closer Than Close became a #1 hit, and at that time they didn't do a video for it, but it still became #1 without a video. It was Battling Sweet Love by Anita Baker. Anita Baker, Sweet Love, and Shirley Jones. Those 3 songs, they were battling for first place. And so I was #1 for at least 6, 7, 8 weeks.
Great.
Close. And
Jean Carn ended up doing that song, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I did that album on her, and I did the next album on Jean Carn. But while once the Tech and WMOT, they split, and Steve and Alan became Omni Records. And we still had Fat Larry's band, and we were up there off City Line Avenue then. And that's when I began to work with Rolls Royce. They signed Rolls Royce, so I did their album, but maybe 3 songs on their album, myself and my partner at that time, Brian Williams.
Okay.
And from there, I went on to incorporate with a guy named the Shapiro brothers, David Shapiro and Kenny Shapiro. They once managed Larry Holmes. And
Okay.
these guys, I formed Caprice Records, Shapiro and Price. And at that time, I got John Whitehead to come be a part of it. So
That was great.
he became a partner with us. And at that time, at the same time, Jonathan Black, the attorney for Teddy, came and got me and said that they wanted to sit down and wanted me to do something with Teddy. Probably because I just had a hit with Fat Larry's band, Act Like You Know.
Yeah.
I just hit with Brandy, What Goes Around Comes Around. And I had just hit with Gene Carn, number 1, with Closer. Closer. So I got with Teddy and I did the Truly Blessed album. I think I did maybe 6 or 7 songs on there. Okay. Got to know him very, very well. And I was up his house like, I guess, half of my life. I mean, it was crazy. Crazy. I mean, it was so wonderful. And Karen Pendergrass was a beautiful, or still is a beautiful person. And she was so cordial. And my family used to come up there. I used to bring Wendy up. And matter of fact, Teddy is my baby's godfather. So, yeah. So I went on from there and did Teddy's album. And the song It Should Have Been You. That went number 1. Truly Blessed, and a couple other tunes that I either produced or co-produced because they were somebody else's songs, but I still produced them along with Teddy.
God bless his career.
Yeah.
I mean, that what you're telling me, I mean, God has given you some gifts.
Well, you know, a lot of the gifts I messed up on too. I mean, I really, really screwed my life up. But well, just the fact that I, I also went left. I went to drugs and all that other kind of stuff. And it's crazy because God had blessed me so. I mean, He actually gave me the dreams that I was dreaming. I've dreamt to, even though we were affiliated international together, I wasn't going to get a Teddy to do. I wasn't going to get an OJs to do. The big boys did them. We get all those scraps. And a lot of that stuff was shelved. It never even came out. So it was a blessing. And it was like a dream come true that I was chosen to do that album. And I got a lot of some props and some not. This is a crazy business. It's a dog eat dog business. But, if I had stuck to the music business and the business of music, and I wouldn't have veered left or veered right. So I don't blame it on anybody. I blame it on myself. But anyway, that led on to, doing some other things. And over in, I traveled to England with Fat Larry's band.
Wasn't that funny?
That was crazy. I mean, 2 times. I mean, it was crazy because I had never been out of the country up to that point. I've been all around America, but I've never been out of the country. And to go there and to have your record be number 1 over there. And when I say number 1, I mean Fat Larry's band in England was like Michael Jackson here.
Yeah.
Like we couldn't walk the street.
It was unbelievable.
We couldn't walk the street. I remember the little girl in McDonald's said to us, "I love you and me mom loves you." I was like, okay. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was good. Yeah, now that's where R&B music is appreciated. Okay. They love R&B music, and it's even old R&B music. They love it and they relish it, and they hold it dear to their hearts. And that's why a lot of American artists and producers and writers have to leave this country just to get recognized and then come shoot back. You know what I mean? You get in where you fit in. You get in from the rear. Sometimes you can't walk through the front door. You got to come through the rear door.
And you know, Terry, as quiet as it's kept, and I think you know this, they keep contacting me over there in England. They won't come back. I keep saying, who's going to go there? You know, first it was the pandemic, and you know that was a no-no. But they said the music was still playing there, and they want the group to come back. So to me, they're more appreciative of the music than they are here.
Right. Because it's real music, and the lyrics are well thought out, and there's nothing negative. I mean, it's like everything is about love. Everything is about love, man and woman, woman and man. There ain't no craziness. You know what I mean? I don't even want to go there, but it's not the same now. You know, nobody wants to hear about BITCHs and throw my money up and let me have me some Ciroc and all that crazy kind of, you know, that stuff. I mean, it's like if we would lie, you know, we would lie in our songs. You know, I love you, girl. I climb the highest mountain. No, you're not gonna climb no highest mountain, swim the sea. You know what I mean? But it was the fact that what it was about. We was trying to show appreciation and just play on words just to show you how much I care for you. You know, but we wasn't swimming no deep into the sea. Half the guys that was writing that they go swim the deepest sea couldn't even swim.
What are you doing now?
Well, right now I got a studio in my basement of my house that's almost done. I'm not really getting into, you know, the aesthetics of it. I really don't care about that. I'll throw blankets up on the walls. I don't care about, you know, it being that. But I mean the equipment. So I'm running a state of the art. I run Studio One, and so I'm just purchasing more and more equipment, and I'm gonna have it so that it's nice and workable. And besides doing my music that I'm gonna continue to do, because I have I'm in R&B music. R&B never dies, and neither do the writers. I bet you if you get Charlie Boy or some of them guys from Philly International to write somebody up a song, that would they would knock it out the box. But nobody's going to come to us because of age. They think that's, you know, I think that only applies in rap music. You know, they ain't going to come to no old rapper. You know, it's always a young thing, the newest thing, the youngest thing. You know, you can get an R&B writer that's 80 years old, pop John on Beyonce, and number one. You know, so what they're really doing is they're missing out. You know, when they it's almost like Geno Jennings. You know, I don't know if you know the preacher Geno Jennings. He always says, "Come back to Bible, come back to Bible." You know, and that's what these guys need to do. Come back to R&B, come back to where it started. If you come back here, believe me, we'll give you some hits. Okay, you may have to mess around with it, and you want to put some new drums and stuff to it. But I'm talking about the overall concept of the song needs to be. We need to get back to love, and how to treat our women right. You know what I mean? And that sort of thing.
Well, Terry, what do you do to keep R&B afloat? What are you doing to keep it going nowadays?
Well, what I'm doing now, like I said, is I'm almost finished my studio, and what I do is I don't want to call them seminars, but I have little. I have some friends of mine that are much younger, and they are really, really enthused, and they're like in the fantasy world when they come to visit me, because they're like, "Man, this stuff is crazy," and I'm like. Hey, I know, you know, so I'm helping them learn the
that's what we were talking about.
Methods of recording, how to operate some of this stuff, and how to record without without the BS. How to record without auto tune and sampling and all that kind of stuff, and how to come from the heart. You know what I mean? Just let it flow. Let it flow. Just let it register in you and groove with it, and it'll come to you. You know what I mean? Rather than just throwing anything, any old words in, just to make it and you get to the hook faster, and that sort of thing. So they come and we have sort of like a class.
Yeah,
it's only about 3 hours.
Write a song. In other words, you teach them how to write a song.
Yeah.
Into the song.
I would say it was more of it's more of a I can't think of the word. You know, I'm old.
So am I. I can't think half the
I can't think of the word I'm trying to find. But it's how to implement your inner self into music without copying, relying on any outside influence on what you're trying to say.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Whatever you would call that, that's what I'm doing. And these guys are really, really getting good at operating my studio. I got to kick them out now because they don't want to take over. I can't have them in here no 24/7. You know, they never want to leave.
I'm looking forward to, I do a lot of music things, and on Simply Music and Simply Music Incorporated, which is a 501c3. We are a teaching component. That's my teaching component. And I'm looking forward to that workshop. Remember the work? Okay. Because I want to be able, and I don't know if this is right what I'm saying. When I was writing songs, or as I write songs, I structured a song with the verses and the bridge and the instrumental and all. I don't even know. I don't think they're doing that now.
Right.
So I would like, and I think my lyrics out, and I try to get meaningful lyrics. I put myself in a song. Mm-hmm. I wanted you to do a workshop sort of like that for people that's inspiring to be songwriters, so that they can understand how a song should be really structured, how they put themselves in a song and how they come up with an actual product that's meaningful to the world. Mm-hmm. So when you get ready, I'll be ready to do that. Yeah.
That needs to be done, because you'd be surprised, like I was telling you about the guys that come here. When I say to them with the hook, they be like, well, what's the hook? I'm like, oh my God. God. I don't know what they call it, but they don't even know hook, verse, turn around. They don't know any of that kind of stuff.
I don't know any of that. But I want to thank you today for coming in and joining us. And as I say, I learned. I hope the fans and social media people, I hope they're learning, but I'm learning a lot of new stuff. I thought I knew a lot of stuff. I'm learning a lot of new stuff. And I value your contribution to the music industry. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for that. Those songs you have written are meaningful, and they will be played long after we're gone from here.
Yeah.
We'll make sure that our music stays afloat.
That's right.
And we will stay in contact, and I will contact you. You contact me, and we'll get some more things going.
All right.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to say before?
No. Well, one last word, and that's just to whoever created this or thought it up or came to fruition. Thank you very much. I appreciate it, and more good things will come out of this, and hopefully a lot of people will get some knowledge that they didn't have, and start to enjoy R&B music again.
Okay. Thank you, Terry Price.
All right.
Talking to you again.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
You're a winner. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Kuka. Shavaria. How you doing?
Hi, Doris. How are you?
Doing?
I am great. I am so glad and so excited to be a part of this National R&B Music Day
Isn't that
Oh,
great?
how wonderful.
Isn't
I'm
it
so
great?
thankful that I'm here to be able to see this
Yes.
because you know R&B music is so important to the industry today. You know, the music from back in the 70s and the 80s from Philadelphia, you know, we worked a lot back then on some of the most popular songs that went all around the world in the
Yeah.
business today. And I'm just excited to be here today, being a pioneer and doing a lot of background vocals for a lot of the artists that came out of Philadelphia back then. So it is so wonderful that R&B music is being recognized because R&B music is very, very important to even now in our future, because a lot of the music that came from then and that era, R&B from Philadelphia, when we were taking over the scene, you know, it is being, a lot of it is being sampled, and a lot of the kids of today are using
Yeah.
some of the original R&B sound and putting it into the hip hop and the new wave and a lot of today's music, which is awesome because it just shows you that R&B music is real music. It comes from the soul. That's why sometimes they call it soul music, because
That's more music.
it really touches, you know, like I remember we used to have to play and sing the whole song all a million times, you
Right.
know, where now you can just press a button and you can quadruple, double, sample, and do anything,
Yes.
which is good for this new technical day and age. But it ain't nothing like the good old music.
Yes, the good old music. So, Kuka, now what have you been up to? What are you doing?
Well, as you can see, this is my little workstation, my little work area, my percussion, and I am writing songs and working with a lot of young people
Yes.
that today we are incorporating R&B music with a touch of inspiration. Because, you know, nowadays everybody needs some inspiration.
Yes.
The way the world is going, we try to encourage
Yes.
this next generation to continue and keep the legacy of real music alive. So I've been working with some young people and just doing new music. It's actually new music because it's R&B with a touch of inspiration. I'm not even going to say gospel, because what we're doing is we are trying to inspire people to do the right thing. You know, now's the time.
Okay. That's great. Are you in the studio yourself?
Yes, Doris, I really have been so busy, and I thank God for that. I've been working at Morning Star Studios with Glenn Barrett and Dave Scroudiner. I can't say his name. Forgive me, Dave. But I've been very, very busy working on a lot of original material, you know, and working with some really good producers coming still out of Philadelphia, you know, Lincoln Gilmore and Lamb Chops Curry and Larry Allen, and even Jim Solomon.
Okay.
So I've been just doing a lot of stuff and trying to you know, keep the music alive, keep R&B alive, because it's very important. And some of it have a little touch of Latino, because you know I am Latina.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know, I'm glad that you're doing this. I'm glad to see that you're all excited. I'm glad, because this is a glorious day for us, because we never had the day before, and we deserved the day. Okay. So I want to thank you for your contribution to the music world and your hard work. And a special thanks go out to you for working with those kids, because you know I love kids. I work with them too. And that's our future. The children are our And by working and coaching them in the music industry, it's nothing, it's just greatness. It's great.
Yes.
So I want to thank
Yes, they are our future.
they're our future. Yeah.
They're gonna be here when we ain't gonna be here.
I have
When
an
we leave here, they're
online,
gonna be here.
I have an online music class. Okay.
Yes.
And it's on Saturday at 11 o'clock. And we have about 8 kids in that class. And we teach keyboard, and then I do it at home. So I'm
Nice.
trying to spread the word and teach them a little bit about R&B, the chords and stuff as we go too. So it's nothing but good stuff coming out of it.
Yes, I thank God for the future.
And how are you
On
keeping?
behalf of Simply Music, on behalf of Simply Music, I just want to say thank you, thank you for keeping R&B music alive.
We're trying, Kuka. We're going to do this, right?
Yes.
But Kuka, how do you keep R&B floating? How do you keep it afloat? Keep it alive. How do you keep it alive?
Well, you know, with the technology and stuff today, it kind of killed live music.
Yeah.
But by incorporating some live sounds, continuing to record live instruments, in opposed to a lot of the inner technology that's like robotic, just keeping the live instruments and live musicians working and playing.
Yes.
That's young people and old people, teaching those that are interested and those that God gifted in the business and the music, just keeping it alive and continuing to produce and write songs that promote inspiration.
That's great. And that's what we have to do. And I think all the artists are trying to do the same kind of thing. It's hard now. Well, it's better now than it was last year before last. At least they're able to do some performances now, which is
good. Live music is coming back.
It's better. So I want you to understand.
It's coming back.
It's coming back. Yeah. And you know, I'm always skeptical because I want to put a concert together. And I said, nah, I can't, because you never know if the virus is going to come back, or, you know.
Follow your heart.
Yeah, I have to follow my heart, which is just to wait a minute.
And pray.
Wait a minute and pray. Yeah. Yes. And then God will direct me in the direction I should go.
Yes. His will, his way.
But look, I want to say thank you for everything. You and I have been friends for so long, so many, many years. And you remember Slick, and we so much work together, and I just love you so. And I thank you so much here.
A new day has begun.
Sunrise. Wasn't that beautiful? Wasn't that beautiful? Okay. Now, Kuka, is there anything you would like to say to the audience today?
Follow your heart, follow your dreams, and keep on working hard towards your goal, and you will achieve it. Hard work pays off.
Thank you, Kuka. Thanks. I'll talk to you soon.
You're welcome.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Bye.